London plane, I don't know if it's just Melbourne. It feels very iconic to Melbourne. I know they're planted all over the world, but there's a plan for them all to be chopped down eventually, and other trees will make up the bigger canopy. I don't know, I kind of love them. So it's a bit of a tribute to that, but also if you're going to chop them down, make something beautiful out of it. I'd sold some of Andy's work in the store. I said, let's do something together. And he said I'd been wanting to do something with London Plane. It was a street tree that, crazily enough, came from 2 blocks away. Each maker was given a piece probably only 2 or 3 months ago. And it was pretty much free reign, and they were free to use other materials. It just had to use some London Plane. Should we talk about some pieces? Yes. Well, Andy is the hero of the show. The main focus for him, I guess, was the veneer. These are sort of supposed to speak to each other. There's a really cute little model over here. I love Andy's attention to detail, and everything is just so perfectly done all the time. And it's pretty crazy considering the time limit and the wood that he had to produce something like this. He also did this one as well, which is 2 sections of veneer and brass and the steel, which is stunning. Yes, he's so fucking crazy. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. When we got all the wood, it was not in any normal shape to work with. Andy had to build his own kiln, but everyone sort of had to figure out their own way of drying out the timber to be able to use it. Nick, whose piece is this one? So it's London Plane in Australian Blackwood, and he's actually in Brisbane. He's originally from Melbourne, but he's sent this down, and this was London Plane that he sourced in Brisbane, but was more difficult to find there than it is here in Melbourne. He's turned that, and the grain is just so stunning. This is Billy Chiavello, and Billy cast the seat. He's called this the G-bang, or the G. It does look a lot like a G-string. It's a very sexy stool. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I kind of want to buy it for myself. Really good stuff. I love Billy's work. He often uses metal elements. But yeah, I don't know how a chair can be so sexy like that. This one here is next to Goody is Bowden. Bowden's from Ukraine. He's moved here with his son and his wife, and they have a workshop down the road. He sells sort of really high-end tables, custom made, and his stuff is normally really streamlined, so it's really cool to see him use this raw edge on the stool. It sort of looks like a cathedral window. And yeah, a few of the other makers sort of kept this live edge, which I think is really cool. The bark is just as interesting as the grain. Bud Hayes, he originally studied architecture, and I think his dad was a blacksmith, and he's sort of carried on the trade. He's from Kentucky originally, but he has a studio just around the corner, and he's a lovely guy. He always helps me out. He received the smallest amount of London Plane, but did some beautiful things with it. He also made these pencils, which are really cute. He's really good at carving, and I don't know how the fuck you get a grey lead into there. That is crazy. But they're beautiful. This is Lauren Henderson. I love how Lauren sort of speaks to the other ones with that live edge. So many different grains in the timber. It's quite a handy piece. I love it as a bedside table, or even just with some chairs would be cute. I love Georgie's work. They'd sent me an image of a table, a sort of Edwardian side table, and wanted to do a take on that. And I think she's nailed it. It's lovely. The grain on top is amazing. Sean Brickhill, he's been with the shop since I opened, and he's a good boy. I've really just got to understand metals though, like, what is stainless steel? Anyway, it's stainless steel that he has polished the shit out of. And these bits here are London Plane, the frame on the back is as well. But I love the way they play with the light, and I love that they're not a full kind of mirror. The way it picks up reflections, it's a bit of drama. It's really nice. Everyone had trouble finishing the timber, it seems. Like, I don't know what it is, but London Plane is very thirsty. And again, with not a lot of time to experiment with how you want to finish things, I think that can be quite stressful. But I think a lot of them were just kind of in love with the grain by the end and surprised by what they could make with it. I think with the shop, I sell, mostly vintage and antiques, and I do have a stable of local designers. But I think for me personally, it's sort of letting the world know that I'm not just about antiques and trinkets, and my personal style is somewhat cluttered, and although I have shoved heaps of mulch in here, this is maybe a little more minimalist for me. But no, I really respect and love these young designers, and it's really hard work what they do, not just to do these shows, but just to make most things. It's so difficult in this economy to try and make any money from your work. People's expectations of how much your work should be worth is kind of way off considering. So just giving them a platform, I guess, to be able to share their work. But I mean, they could all have their own solo show somewhere else successfully. They don't need me. They're all doing good things.